Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world of darkness, and welcome to Rage Across New York, the Mind Link venue, where today's scene will take place in the city and in the park. Amazing, I know, right? So, various sort uh, interesting and perturbing elements from his packmate that is currently in the city doing packmate stuff. So he want to know more about this this leech. So this is where we will start the scene as Katori is mind poking, mind probbing, prob.
Suna is walking out of Spanish Harlem. She's going into the direction of Central Park, um, but just walking. She is gonna check a couple of times to see if she's not followed. So let me just make roll for that because she's always checking lately to see if she's not followed.
Always checking like a mouse.
Checking like a boss. So she's even doing like the makeup mirror, checking her eyes to see if her makeup is still okay. Just checking behind her as she's walking on, going into the direction of Central Park when she receives the mind probe of Katori. It's like thinking back, what?
What?
I'm on my way.
I thought you had to stay in the city.
I said I could come occasionally. I just need to find a place where I can, like, you know, shift into the Umbra because it'll be safer. I'll be there. But you might want to come to the border. I have not been cleansed for a while.
Okay. And the keeper of the land will start to trot to the border of the sept on the umbral side, waiting for Cinna, who we hope will not make a bosh and be trapped, because otherwise that will be a very short scene and very
Yeah,
weird and a
that
very
will be
weird one.
kind of awkward. Sana will get into well, she'll go to a like a public bathroom. Do they have? I don't even know if they have them in New York, but for now they have them.
Meh, they have
Um,
one now.
like yeah, exactly. They have one now, like as close as to Central Park as she can get. If there's one like in Central Park, but not yet across the border of the Sept, she'll use that one. Gets inside. Checking again to see if no one is there. Yeah, it's
Oh,
not so well, but no one is there, at least according to her, with one success. And she'll close the bathroom stall, opens again the makeup mirror, looks inside, and crosses like a boss into the Umbra. So that is like a boss.
Yay, like a
And
boss.
we love bosses here. So as she is going into the Umbra, she need to find picture now. God damn it! Don't know which picture I was about to use. Too many
Yeah.
pictures. Yar, fuck, fuck. As she's making her way over to that one. She's making her way over to Katori.
Hey,
Hi.
fancy meeting you here.
Really good to see you again, Katori. She'll actually do the proper greeting of like throwing her head backwards, showing her throat and everything.
Yeah. he waves his paw. Yeah, yeah, I know the drill. All right, now come here. As he has his trusty stick.
Yeah, she'll walk up. What?
Okay, on move as he is drawing signs on the ground before washing washing the stick and poking Cinna. Poke, poke, poke. Diggity, poke, poke. And I don't remember. You heard that thing in the background?
Yes.
It's called a car.
Wow.
Fucking Homids. And yes, you can see the nice and totally wormish smoke coming out of your skin as you are cleansed.
Ah, that's better. That poking with that stick, is that like it tickles?
Well, I mean that's part of your of a process. I mean,
Mm.
if you don't like the mistake, I can always give you the teeth.
They
I'm not.
probably won't tickle.
I mean, it depends.
Fair enough. No, the stick is fine. Don't worry. I was just joking.
Uh, it's
Man,
good
I miss you
to have
guys.
you. Hmm. Well, I mean, I know we're pretty terrific. It's hard. Okay.
Yeah, she's like, okay, fuck it, and she'll walk up to Katori and just give him a hug, as she actually did miss her pack very much.
Ah, very squishy.
Squishy.
As he sticks his tongue out. Me. So, uh, how have been your trips? Because as far as I know, you've taken quite the trip before this one.
Mhm. Yeah. Can we walk to the shrine? Guess I
Sure.
promised to Tana I would let him know first.
Yes, Fina is very demanding.
In a way, I guess. It's actually kind of like laying her hand on Katori's back as they walk, because she doesn't have a quarterstaff with her, because you don't take a quarterstaff into the city. And her cane is probably not dedicated to her, because that would be too silly to have two sticks dedicated to you. So she's probably using Katori as support right now. Tries not to lean on him too much when it comes to walking. She's actually not, It's just kind of keeping him as a balance, but not as something to lean on as they make their way over to Uktana's shrine.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. I got it. And yeah, they arrive to a shrine of Uktena with the three little trees.
With the three little trees, yeah. she
Yes.
she'll smile as well when she sees those, and she'll take some time to take a couple of stones. It takes three stones, and it's kind of whispering without actually using sound. Like, you can see her lips moving. There's no sound coming as she's whispering to the stones, and then one by one tosses them into the lake.
Mhm.
All set.
Hmm.
After maybe like 15 minutes or so. It's quite a while.
And yeah, Kotori is just silently watching. Probably taking a little bit care of the trees.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
So she sits down in the middle, like in the middle of the three trees, because, well, that's her spot. Probably waits for Katori to sit next to her. What do you want to know first?
well. Mm, did you went there again?
You mean to England?
Yes.
Yeah, I went to the capital, London.
Hmm. How was it?
Very strange to be there again. But I'm sure you're not talking about me being in the city doing some sightseeing.
I mean, perhaps. I don't know.
Well, I did some sightseeing. I did some, like, it was good to be in the city again. I've been there a couple of times, but you know, so it's good to visit those old places again. I had coffee at my favorite place.
Uh,
Then I went to meet someone that, well, they told me to go to this hill that views over the entire city,
mhm.
and I found well, one of my mom's old pack. Apparently, she's no longer in it. I didn't dare to ask why.
Mm,
I didn't want to. I have an idea, and I don't. If it is true, then I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings too much.
mm,
But he asked questions, of course, and then when he was satisfied, he directed me to this place where, well, she was.
yeah, through the pack link, you can feel that Tori seems to well, you get the good vibe of happiness going through him.
It was so. I, I don't quite know how to explain it well, but
Strange.
yeah. Um, First, kind of businesslike, I guess. Not
Hmm.
really, but like, you know, it's someone that's you've known your entire life in a way, but you don't. Like,
Mm,
you've always seen them, but you've never seen them before.
hmm.
I Part of me had the feeling I was looking kind of like towards myself in a bit, in a
Hmm.
way, but then she was older, of course, and
Well, of course you would be.
yeah, her
Uh,
hair was more reddish. Like, she wasn't like me, but she was like me in a way.
hmm.
And yeah, at some point, just clicked. I can't really quite describe it, um, but yeah,
Hmm.
she didn't want me to stay there. She wanted me to stay here. She didn't
Hmm.
want me to leave you guys. She was very upset when I said that if it was necessary, I would stay in England. She was very upset when I told her that. So yeah, that's why I have certain ideas regarding her not being in a pack.
Hmm.
She she's running a lot through Europe. I've asked if she wanted me to, if she wants, you can send like my family's kin and stuff if they need a safe place. But I would need to discuss that with Mama L first. it's not fair to offer a sanctuary when the alpha who said sanctuary is not informed. So yeah,
Hmm. Well, at least it seems that you have for once found memories of this place. That's a change.
what do you mean?
Well, from our previous conversations and, well, the way you described England after going there with Maeve,
Antalya. Yeah.
you didn't seem to be quite fond of this place.
I it's my homeland, and in that way I think there will always be fond memories. Unfortunately, a lot of people are trying to ruin those. That's what it feels like.
Hmm. Yes, I can understand one's attachment to a land. Hmm. I should perhaps go visit mine again sometimes.
Is that Arizona or
No,
okay.
Hmm. my my sister, my sister was there. My sister was there because it was convenient. No, we're from the Black Hills.
And that is
Mm, I think it's in this place that they call Dakota.
huh, okay. Huh.
Very vast forest, high mountains,
Cool.
and generally hummus if you're alone. Well, they are sometimes those pesky and nice native and go and see, how you're doing, and they heal you if you're feeling bad, those kind of pesky hobbits.
That's cool. You're not so bad, Hamid, huh?
Well, uh, I'll have to warn you when you will see my sister.
Why?
Well, if you, I don't think you would have known. It was, it was during the time where you were a kinfolk, and I think it was only short time after you joined us. But my sister was the reason why I came here. She was trapped in a zoo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She has pretty bad memories of this place, mostly being treated bad as well, the way she called them is, and he thinks for a moment. Oh yes, I think she said featherless pink flesh chickens.
It's a way to look at humans, I guess.
Hmm.
So you say best approach in lupus.
Well, lupus is best at least for a first impression. Also, well, she is extremely wolfish. As you know, I come from a red talent stock.
Mm-hmm.
So, my word of advice would be, well, she will probably try to establish where you stand on the food chain because we wolf have a very particular social order. I mean, she tried to jump on Mamael.
I,
Yeah.
I can't imagine that have gone well for her.
Well, that was fast. That was extremely fast. And then she created a card out of nowhere, and she put it her in a bag
Oh,
and sent her back to Olaf.
oh boy, that's bad.
So, well, at least now she knows that, contrary to normal wolves, the old wolf generally means that it survived long enough, and you shouldn't try to poke it.
Oh boy. Okay, well, so if I ever meet her, check.
I mean, from what I get, Olaf immediately imposed his dominance.
Hmm. I don't.
So my no, but my word of advice would be that if she challenges you, you know,
Mhm.
by making a stare contest or something, you have to respond to it. You should
I
respond to it.
I respond to anyone trying to get me into a staring contest.
But at least it was fun. I mean, the way Mother L changed in Krynos, ended her by one hand.
Oh, I never saw that. I'm not quite sure if I would want to see that. I'm kind of curious now to see that.
Well, I mean, you can always try, and you
I'm
can
not
always try
planning
and
to
challenge
stare
her.
Mama L down.
Oh,
No.
oh, oh no, she didn't try to stare her down. I mean, I told you, she jumped on her from the
Oh,
bushes.
even worse.
Yeah, that's my sister.
Mm, great. Check. No, check. Thanks for the heads up, but yeah, I'm done with.
What?
No one's
You're.
gonna stare me down, except when they deserve when they deserve it, like you or Gerard. Uh, well, or Mama L, or you know, but
Mhm.
fuck the rest.
Mhm. Yeah. And you see that Katori take a breath, and he takes a more serious business Katori face. So,
So,
what's this story about a vampire?
yeah, I didn't know. Okay, that's the first thing that I'd like to say. I did not look up a vampire willingly, because I wouldn't have done it like this.
Hmm.
No. Well, you know why I'm in the city, right? Thing with the mayor
Yes,
and
you
everything.
want to know more about this mayor alpha thing. Hmm. Hello? Ask ya! Hmm. Well, that's weird. Do, 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 do. No, 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 no. Da, 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 da. No, 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 no. Da, ba, da, da. No, 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 no. Ba, ba, da, da. No, 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 no. Da, 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 da. No, 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 no. Da, da, da. Ba, da, ba, da. Da, 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 da. No, 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 no. Ba, ba, da, da.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm sorry.
Yay! Two Ophelia for the
No,
price of one.
no, please, someone. The
No.
other one, the other one is a shape changer. Kill it. She can't
Okay.
talk. Yes, you
Yeah,
killed her.
she died. Okay.
Okay. Well.
Basically, you said I wouldn't have contacted like this and all.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have tried to meet up with a vampire like this. Um, so the thing with the mayor, I wrote that article.
Mm-hmm.
Same way I wrote an article or a news thingy
Mm-hmm.
when the police was on the Sept, right? On the Central Park in
Yes.
Central Park, and it drove him off in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I was a cop back then,
Mm-hmm.
but I also got to be off Sept for about a week because I did not want to be connected too much to Central Park. Like it had to look like I wasn't trying to lure them out of Central Park, but I was just, you know,
Mm-hmm.
trying to uh, point out that the mayor was doing silly stuff. Now that's the first reason why I'm in the city, but also this shit needs to stop. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we got, for fuck's sake, out of the park again, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
because of what I wrote. But, or at least I think it's because of what I wrote. I'm not quite sure, of course. But the mayor is still there, and we know she's a problem.
Mm-hmm. That is
So
true.
besides the fact that I am trying to not get my connections known too much to Central Park, I am also trying to see if we can get rid of her. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the city, New York, the mayor is kind of the alpha, but she has like her own council of elders.
Mm-hmm.
One of them has made a statement that he disagrees with what the mayor, the alpha, is doing and how
Mm-hmm.
she's doing it. I've talked to him and he is willing to help out and to help see if we can, make sure that the alpha gets, well,
Mm-hmm.
kicked
He
out,
he
I
wants to
guess.
challenge the alpha.
I'm not quite sure if he wants to challenge the alpha or if he, because it works kind of differently with humans. Like he wants to challenge the alpha. I'm not quite sure if he is willing to take on the alpha position himself or if he
Mm-hmm.
wants to find someone, but at least we want to find someone who's better suited to become alpha. We want a proper alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we decided to see if we could work together on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I am busy trying to find more people to set up a front to fight against her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out yet. But as I was doing this, we came up with a couple of ideas because what we need is the support of the city. So the city needs to think that we are awesome and that we are better, well, probably better alphas, but that they believe our story and not the mayor's story. Now, in order to do that, we need to make them like us.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm planning to organize like events to help the city out, like to offer education so that people can learn to read and write and can get like proper jobs and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was thinking, I saw a newspaper, I saw an ad hanging in one of the supermarkets where I just bought lunch, and it was basically a call for help from a priest, which is like a theurge, but then for humans. They have like this one. I think the easiest way to explain this is they have this one very big spirit that they call a god. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or if I'm just talking nonsense here.
I mean, Kotori is listening to you, but you can see, when you're talking about things like priest, god,
Mhm.
Hamis having fearges and
Yeah,
all, you can see, the head flopping on the right, flopping on the left. Like, yeah, I'm listening, but right now you're a little bit gibberish.
Okay.
Kind of wolf
So,
look.
um, no, there's an easier way to explain this, I guess. For us, the way we see the world is that Gaia created the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that she's the mother.
Yes.
Yes. Now, believe it or not, most humans actually don't believe in a mother, but in a father. And this father is, for most of the people in, well, the Western civilization, so America, Europe, is called God. In some of the other places, they have different names and sometimes even completely different religious beliefs, but let's just stick to one. So we have Gaia, she's our mother, she created the world. They believe in a father who created the world, and they follow his beliefs and they listen to him. They have their own commandments that they call, which is basically something like their litany to follow.
Katori, you see, Katori is concentrating a lot as he listened to this, and for a few seconds, like his eyes go white before returning normal, and he goes, "Is is this the one where they eat the flesh of their thing, saying thank you for the flesh, and then they drink their blood?"
Um, well, that is part of their beliefs, yes. But that's more about. They also believe that this father had a son, and that son had to be sacrificed. Let's not get into that. Let's just keep it
This
simple.
this seems extremely complicated and
It
silly.
is extremely complicated, but it's like they don't believe in spirits and everything. But I'm sure they find your beliefs or our beliefs also complicated. I've listened to a lot of. I've gone to church a lot. Church is a place where where humans come and they pray to this God and they listen to the priests. And priests are people who tend to try to advise humans, try to. It's basically like a little bit of a philodox combined with a theurge, I guess. They give spiritual advice and spiritual judgments.
Mm.
So anyway, those priests also do a lot of charity work and they try to help people if they are nice. There's also a lot of corruption in this entire thing, but of course there is, because they're humans. Anyway, in this belief, there is one guy who calls himself father, because that's what they call themselves. Um, they also sometimes go by brother or shepherd or something like that. It's kind of silly, really. Or sister, of course, when they're like sisters or mothers when they are female. Um, but I found this advertisement of a certain father, a priest of this church, who needed or who wanted to have help in advertisements because they were doing a lot of stuff to help people in well, basically all over New York. But they needed to have the word spread. So he needed to have someone who was willing to help them out when it came to like writing a letter to a newspaper or yeah, getting some ads in and stuff like that. Basically spread the word around. What I do
Hmm.
for a living sometimes. Write stories about it. So I contacted this guy and said like, hey, you talk to because this was my idea. He talks to a lot of people who need charity sometimes, but also people who can help give charity. I was hoping if he would do that and would talk about the things that we want to do so that we would get the support of the people in New York, then I could give him that word in the newspapers.
Katori is gonna raise a paw.
Hmm.
What is charity?
Charity is humans' word for helping out strangers. Like some humans donate money so that other humans can use this money to buy clothing or food. Some humans help out in a soup kitchen where people who don't have a home and don't have a way of feeding themselves can get free food. Or they set up shelters for these people, or basically it means that they help each other out.
Hmm.
Like, I guess for a wolf, that would mean you would hunt for someone who at that point can't hunt. Like, if a mother has a litter and needs to take care of the litter, then someone of the pack hunts for this person.
Uh-huh. This is weird.
Yeah, I can understand that the concept is a bit weird. Especially because we believe in if you can't sustain yourself, you just die. Humans have come up with a way that if you help each other out, you don't need to die.
Huh. Hmm. That might explain why we survived so much.
It might exactly explain that, yes. Um, but not every human is willing to actually do that, so sometimes they need help. Now,
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I talked to this guy, and as I was explaining my ideas, and he was explaining his ideas, and we were actually getting to an agreement. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I messed up because I've said humans instead of people. Apparently, he did something. I don't know what he did. He sensed, but I could feel like he was active. He was like
Mm-hmm.
doing something. Well, vampire.
He was
Leechy.
using his wormish powers.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing. 'Cause I was sensing him, and I thought this is bad. So I immediately tried to sense the worm on him. I didn't sense anything unusual. Like, there was, of course, the one thing that you get when you walk into the city too much, and that was there. But he didn't smell very worm tainted. Like, actually, not at all, not more than any normal human would.
Mm. They must have ways to hide themselves.
Maybe. I don't know. He seemed very genuine in the things that he did. Um, well, anyway, at that point, I wasn't quite sure if it was him because, well, he didn't, and he did. I didn't get any worm reading off of him. Well, not very much, and other than that, I
Mhm.
didn't really get anything. So I actually thought that there was something going on outside. We were in an office in a community center. Community
Mhm.
center is a big building where they where they all come together to help each other out.
Mhm.
Um, so I actually thought that it might not have been him. That it might have been something outside of the of the office and outside of the room where we were in. And then all of a sudden he was like, "Yeah, well, my kind and this and that and your kind and you don't need to hide yourself." He was getting all weird, but he never really spoke out. But I knew something was wrong, so at that point I was like, okay, so it was him who did something weird, and I basically said to him like, well, fuck it, what the fuck are you?
Mhm.
And yeah, I was ready to either run out because it was a place where a lot of humans were at that point, and I didn't want to breach the veil,
Mhm.
or fight him really. It really was going to depend on what he was going to do. And he was like, well, finally he said that he was a vampire, but that he did want to help out and that he had a lot of people that he knew that were also vampires that also don't like the mayor and want to get rid of her. And I was starting to think that maybe, I don't know, I don't We need to bring her down as soon as possible while she's weak. I have the feeling that that moment is now, but we need to act. And I'm kind of afraid if we don't, that in a couple of months there will be a security again in Central Park, and at some point I will not be enough anymore to help. So I I haven't said that I would take his offer, like things we spoke of before, but um, I let him go.
Mm,
I did get a sense, but I think I might be able to use him and maybe use his kind.
mm. You're playing a very dangerous game here.
I know. Trust me, I know. I mean, even to me, this sounds flaky as shit.
Hmm. We can't trust them.
No.
But from the previous experience that I had through dives, me, through bites the air,
Who?
bites the air, my previous packmate, he was a Bonar.
I don't know him.
He left the sept. He said he wanted to fight the worm on the seas, saving whales.
Cool.
But he had a vampire under his thumbs. He
Hmm.
had one that he was using. He gained information on getting more vampires to kill. But this is highly dangerous.
I know.
You're alone in the city, and they are numerous. Does this priest know what you are?
He never said it out loud, and neither have I. I have only spoken of my people, so I'm not quite sure.
Hmm.
He knows I'm not a human.
He makes he makes pause, trying to see a little bit of to what um, exactly to do about this. You can throw a penny if you want.
I will never not throw it, Peony. Also, you do know that your mic or your camera is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Shit. There we
Rare.
go. No, nothing.
Uh,
I didn't see you, and now I do. I have two successes.
mm, okay. So with two
I'm not
with
quite sure if attentive counts as a specialty. In that case, I would have had three,
mm,
but I'll leave it up to
I
you.
I would say I would say yes. Uh, I would say yes. It would.
Okay, in that case, I have three successes.
Uh, eh, no, 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 no. Okay. I would say for that, you can you can feel that he is he's worried about you, but also underneath you can feel that definitely there's There's anger not directed at you, but you probably can extrapolate why.
Yeah, I mean, Cinna or Ophelia
Yeah.
immediately had gained a rage point
Yeah.
when she found out that there was a vampire in the room. So yeah, she does
Hmm.
definitely understand why he's upset and angry.
And he's actually going to stop. Well, at least, when he was talking about vampires and relations, he was going through the pack link, and he stops completely talking and only going through the pack link. You know what he is. Have you stated clearly that you knew what he was?
He said himself. He was the one saying that he was a vampire, not me.
He's going to raise an eyebrow at that.
He first said he was um oh what word did he use? Oh, he first said he was a damned. So I thought he was a fallen from the Bronx,
Mm,
but he didn't seem to know what I was talking about. Then he said he was a parasite on this world. So I just thought he was like a Black Spiral Lancer thing, maybe. And I never spoke those words.
we
And then
need.
he said he was a vampire.
He seems at least to show that he's willing either to talk or the mayor seems to be getting their attention
Maybe
more
both.
than more than she should.
Uh huh. Like this guy, um, because I got angry. Well, of course I did. Like not angry, angry. I didn't frenzy or anything,
Hmm.
but I could feel my anger rising, and you guys felt it too. Um, he somehow noticed it a little, probably also because I was kind of cursing and shouting. Um, he seemed to be more worried for the people that were out there than for himself, and all this time he did seem genuine and honest in his answers. Like, I know I'm not a Philodox,
Hmm.
but I can judge some. Well, I can. I did not get the feeling he was trying to hide. Like he was trying to be cautious, but not necessarily hide the truth from me when he found out what that I was not a normal human.
Mm.
Like I'm not planning to be his best friend, and if he had been worm tainted,
I
I
know.
would have tried to follow him.
Hmm. You have his scent.
Hmm.
Would you be able to follow him with your Ragabash guests?
Um, I would need to pick up his scent first and track him down. But I think if I would go back to that place, I would be able to.
Hmm.
But I don't have the capability to follow a trail like some of the others have. I don't have Pulse of the Prey,
Hmm. Hmm.
mostly because I believe that's not a clear thing.
Yeah, yeah, no, because I was re-wondering for a second. Wait, aren't you a Fostern already?
No, I'm still clear.
Well, I mean, oh God,
Mhm.
there's, you can feel a thought creeping into Kotori for a second, because the thing that you get creeped is, words from a certain a certain Ragabash with talent about finding a Fomori,
Uh-huh.
finding an agent of a worm and killing it. But
Yeah. You can tell as the thought pops up in your head that Ophelia had also had this thought already, but
Mhm.
she's not quite sure whether this guy would count as one because he does
Mhm.
not come off worm tainted.
Mhm. Don't mistake yourself, even if it doesn't come as worm tainted.
I
We
know.
both know. We both know that corruption takes other forms.
Arr. She kind of
Yeah, I know.
growls at that. She's
Yeah,
like,
I
"Arr."
know.
I know, but I know I will wait word from you and from if you want to discuss this with someone else, the other elders or
Mhm.
my elders on this. But I have the feeling that I can at least for now use this guy. And
Mm.
maybe if we can get like we know that the vampires are better in the city than we are and have more control over the humans there. If we can use them for this thing to get that mayor out, like we would use
Mm.
a small worm to get to the big worm, I would say.
No, I see what you mean. We could learn things from this creature, and if it wants to get rid of the mayor, that could be something. However, as you said, they are better in the city.
Hmm.
And I guess that if they want to get rid of a mayor, they want to use something of their own.
Yeah.
If you want to size power and you size it, you better be sure that it remains in your hands.
Yeah, we should see if we could
Mm.
be faster than them. And
It doesn't matter who is in this place. We can always kill it.
well,
What we
yeah,
have to ensure is that they don't gain control over it.
exactly.
Mm.
Like we want to get the mayor gone, but we know that and this is the weird thing. And out of character, I'm not quite sure, but I believe
Mhm.
that we did suspect that the mayor had something to do with vampires.
Uh, no. The only thing that I
No,
remember is that
there
we
was the thing
have.
in the mirror. I thought at some point it was.
Oh, I,
I know that Ren
it
told us about
came.
that, but
Yeah, no. Ren told us about that, but it came as something worm tainted. I don't
yeah,
think it
okay.
was in communication with a vampire. So no.
I'm not quite sure anymore, so just keep it at no.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, we know that there is that thing in the mirror with the mayor.
Mhm.
We don't know who or what that is, but I would really like to see if we could replace her with like a kin or something. Maybe Morning Kill has a
Mhm.
appropriate kin to become like the next mayor. But
Perhaps. Perhaps indeed. Even if given some times, I think I could take the mayor out.
I think taking the mayor out is not necessarily the problem here. To be honest, I think it's the power that's behind it, and that's that Pentex company that we know barely shit about, but has its paws in like every fucking thing that we come across.
That's true. That's true. For now, remain prudent. Be
Mhm.
more. Well, I will not insult you in saying that you need to be wary. I know
I
that you are, but now that these things at least understand that you may not be human,
mm,
I would advise you to be even more cautious. We don't know
yeah,
them.
no,
We only know that they are a plague on the earth.
I know, I know. For now, it's just the one guy, and I don't know how that's
Mm.
gonna go. I have not. I've told him that I would need to think about whether I would continue with this idea that I had that he would fit in.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say it's a bad idea still to get him in on
Hmm.
this. We just need to make sure that we can always detach ourselves from him should it be necessary.
Hmm.
But I'm not
If,
quite sure if you are the right person to speak about this because, no offense, Kotori, but you are a lupus and I love you, but the city is not your thing.
and I'm kind of proud that it's not my thing, so I take no offense.
I can understand, but in this case,
Yes, I know. Hmm.
I will see if I
Here's
can.
what. Here's
Yes.
what you'll do. Get me one of these written reports
Hmm.
about exactly how this encounter went. If you have a physical description, or if you know how to, if you remember how he looked,
Hmm. Hmm.
set it on records,
Okay.
give it to me. I think that we have two solutions. From what I remember, I think that Garrett has some knowledge about those things. It's a solution, or I can go to see Morning Kill regarding this.
I was actually planning to see if I could track down Mama L because I have a question to her to ask regarding something that my mother and I discussed.
Mm,
I could ask her as well. She also, I mean, she's the alpha of the sept, and she's been in the city for a long time. I think she knows more of the city than
mm,
we give her credit for. We always run to Morning Kill because, well, he knows a lot about lawyers and a lot about the difficult stuff of the human world. But Mama L is a bonar, and they know their shit as well.
mm.
I'm not saying don't go to Morning Kill Raya, and well, through the pack link you can kind of feel that sad ping when she speaks of him like that. But
Mhm.
I will at least talk to Mama L. I hope as soon as possible.
Okay, if that is what you think is the best, I will heed your words regarding this. But my advice will be the following:
Mm,
take as much knowledge as you can, but get rid of it. That, to me, is the safest bet in the
I
long run.
understand. I understand, Kotori, and I respect your opinion.
I feel there's a but coming after this.
No, well, I'm surprised about the fact that he did not come up as worm tainted. It keeps surprising me. And I can't help but think, and I know that that is wrong to think because I know that these are worm creatures and they need to be killed. But I can't help but to think that what if it's not? Like the thing with my house, with Ostrahal, you
Mm,
couldn't sense the corruption. And a lot of people died who should probably have died. But also, many of my house have died while they were innocent, like my father. It's on the one hand, it is a reminder that the corruption of the worm can get anywhere.
mhm,
But on the other hand, it's also a very painful reminder of the fact that we can't. I, I don't want to judge too fast.
mm. I can understand having a different point of view. After all, most of the talks that I have about Bear and his children might be seen as blasphemy by a lot of Garu. However, no matter how human it may look, it's dead. It's unnatural. That is something that it cannot change. It preys on humans. It preys on everything. Just as we are inhabited by our rage and can kill those that we care about in a fit of rage, just as we are a dangerous creature. This is our nature. We can fight it. We can try to change it. But it doesn't change that even the sweetest Garu can become a killing machine.
I
Just
know.
remember this. I don't want them to lure you in a false sense of, mm, I
Security.
wouldn't, security.
Yeah, I understand, and I am weary, but like I said, I am kind of hesitant to judge so easily and to say that it can't be helped. I mean, when I got Freddy, a lot of Garu said kill him, get rid of him because he's Black Spiraled Enterkin. It's better if you kill him because no matter what, eh. And he got better. He got cleansed. He got clean of drugs and of the influence of the worm, and is now he now has a day-to-day life where he has a job and he can buy food and shelter. And don't say it just can't be because we've never seen it before.
I'm not saying that it's not possible for it to happen. This kinfolk is the proof that it can happen, but I may not know a lot about vampires, but I know something. If they are a form of Fomori, then after a year of exposure, there is no turning back.
I see. I'll keep that in mind.
Mm. I've seen a very interesting object in my tribe. It is used to heal, or, well, as much healing as an axe can provide.
As what can provide?
An axe.
Oh, okay.
But this one, it is special. It is made to exercise Fomoris. I've seen it used once by one of my elders.
Mm-hmm.
It is efficient, for it strikes the bane directly and leave the host unarmed. But if the host and the worm have been too close for too long, then the axe cannot make the difference, for there cannot be any difference anymore. I
Okay.
will trust your judgment on the city. Just remember that even if we, well, your two paranoid lupus packmate that holds so much love for the city may be wary. Sometimes it is better to have two wary Garu at your side rather than nothing.
I understand.
Mm. Well, go and try to catch Larissa if you can get
Hmm.
her. In the meanwhile, I will wait for this written report, and I will, in the meantime, go to Garrett when I have it.
Okay.
Perhaps hmm, his knowledge that I've heard of those things might enlighten us on what they're doing.
I think that would be a good thing. Thank you,
Hmm.
Katori, and thank you for not immediately throating me.
Oh, don't worry. That can still happen if you're making horrible mistakes. I mean, that's kind of why
To
I'm
be
here.
fair, I think if I really make horrible mistakes, I don't think you'll need to throat me anymore.
Well, no, I would have to burn the city down.
You wouldn't. Please don't do that.
He raised an eyebrow. Well, I mean, obviously, I would need to get Abuela out first.
Yeah. Actually, I was in Spanish Harlem just now. I will make sure to tell them not to go to that community center. Yeah.
Yes, I would like my kinfolk to stay safe.
Hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'll let them know.
Mm, yes, and well, if you see some of the others, try to grab them and tell them that I want to see them.
Which others?
All the others from his family,
Oh,
or
right.
those that you know.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
trying to shepherd them.
Okay. No, that's fine. Do you want me, while I'm in the city, you want me to keep an eye out for them? I'll
Mm,
do so anyway, now that I know that there is one of those guys,
mm.
like, in their neighborhood. But,
Yes, I've sent my spirit ally to watch over them, but their spirits. Sometimes there are things that might elude them.
I'll see if I can stay there at least once a week on different days, though,
Hmm.
for as long as it's necessary.
Very well. Well,
Yeah, I gotta
come on.
go. Hmm?
I'll accompany you to the heart of the cairn
Okay,
for
that's fine.
before you start your quest for finding the cart lady. Some say she roams in the wood, hunting them, throating young cubs who think that they can take on elders.
I think she actually might have found it amusing.
Oh yes, she said it. She hasn't done it in a long time.
Maybe I should just, jump on her.
Well, I mean, if you want to be sent back to me in a cart, sure.
If I get to talk to her before that, and if it would make her laugh, I might do it at some point.
Hmm. All right, let's go. As he starts to trot off with Senna by his side, I think we can call this a scene.
Mhm.
Thank you, players, for playing, watchers for watching, and we'll catch you next time.